I love how you guys had to have your easels moved down because you're so short.
Whoa.
Yay.
He's a
What
bully.
the
Welcome. This is Painting with Isabela Merced.
Cree?
Felix, John,
Hannah.
and today we're going to be painting spirals because the Turtles All the Way Down movie prominently features a painting by Raymond Pettibon that has a spiral, and the reason it does is because it was the first time in my life when I felt like I'd seen something that somehow expressed like the nature of my obsessive thought spirals.
If you did not play the character you played, which character would you play?
This is a very small cast for that
I was
question.
gonna say, if you have to
You could be
I want
character.
to play the turtle.
I just feel like Cree and I could have very easily switched roles.
totally.
We have a lot of things about each character that we both portray.
That is true.
really.
There's a real Daisy in you.
There's a real Daisy inside of me, and I
And there's
love.
a real Asa and Cree.
Yes.
I mean, is that the thing about acting? I've never understood it, as people will be able to discern from watching my cameo. Is it about finding the place where your empathy can extend to anyone?
I would say so. I think that's the kind of the goal of storytelling as a whole, don't you reckon? Like,
Yeah.
you're kind of trying to bring your experience and the things that you know about life to. I mean, acting is kind of different because you're trying to empathize with someone else.
Right.
But certainly for my process, I love to try and bring parts of myself, things that I understand about the world and storytelling.
Well, when I was playing Coach Adler,
No, yeah. Tell us about that process, though, because
the 19th
it
lead
is-
in the movie.
You actually are in the movie.
I am in the movie.
Like, I don't mean to bring it up again, but didn't you get cut about?
I did, yeah. Thanks for bringing it up. I got cut from the Fault in Our Stars movie because I was so bad that it was distracting. Y'all don't know how hard your job is because you've been good at it for a long time. But
You had to blow a whistle as well.
I did. I had to blow a whistle. I had to do a squat. Hannah made me do a full squat, and
That
then,
was omited.
And then I know that wasn't in the final movie. And then when I did the full squat, Bella said, "I can't believe you could do a full squat," which kind of hurt my feelings.
Right.
You don't look like a guy who could do a full squat. I'm just saying.
She's trying to hurt your feelings again.
No, dude.
It's working.
You're
working.
surprisingly agile. Like, I feel
Thank
like
you.
if you just said
Thanks,
if
bud.
you just said I could do a flip, I would believe you. Because that squat was so good, like the form and everything.
Yeah.
We were very young.
We were babies.
We were so
I've
young.
known Bella since I was like 13 years old. We were on the same children's network together, and then we had the same friend group to this day that maintains.
We knew each other and that we had each other's back, and we're
Yeah.
both, Hispanic, and we can represent like a community that we're familiar with. Although, I remember the book, and they didn't ever mention anything about Asa being Hispanic. But I feel like Daisy Ramirez is such a Latin last name.
Yeah, she's Latina.
Yeah, she's Latina.
She's Latina.
She didn't ask to be born Latina. Nada más tuve suerte.
Latina chose her. I have a question for you, John.
Yeah.
Was there anything from the book that was an absolute necessity for the film that you needed to be included and would not budge on it?
So the only things that I put in the contract, that I was like, this I feel strongly about this, that it's going to be contractualized.
We're getting legal.
Is the portrayal of OCD.
Okay.
Because I've seen so many stories that romanticized or sentimentalized OCD or made it look like just sort of a freakish thing.
Yeah.
So that was one, and then the other was Daisy being played by a Latinx actor.
Controversial opinion. I'm glad we went with Davis without the glasses.
Controversial. How do you feel
Really
about that, John?
controversial.
Fine. The glasses were not an essential part of my understanding of the character.
We did do a
But
glasses
you'd be
fitting.
surprised. A lot of people mention
I know a lot
that.
of people mention being mad about the glasses thing,
Which-
but that stuff never gets to me. It's all about whether or not the person understands the character, and I think Felix brought so much of knowledge of Davis.
You were quite collaborative and free. I was always wanting to add things from the book because I'm such a huge
and then
fan.
Hannah would be like, "We should add this. It's from the book," and I'd be like, "But I don't like it." Who wrote the book, and why did he put that in there?
Nor.
Interesting.
I just did the nor in front of Felix.
That's very good.
That's a funny little phenomenon that I had no idea about.
You didn't know about this?
Well, it's very funny to grow up with that just being your normal. No, it's just normal, and then to hear Americans have it
We're obsessed
be
with
a
that.
thing, and just hear it out in the wild and go like, oh, what?
What do you
Well,
do?
it's also, I will say it's really humiliating when you hear other people from other English-speaking countries you say an American accent.
Yeah.
It's so, I mean, you have a lovely American accent, but when they're making fun of us,
Oh,
and
yeah.
they're like, "I would like a cheeseburger."
Yeah.
And you're like, "Oh God, is that what we sound like?"
Yeah.
That's the fear, right? When you're doing an American accent, is like, do I sound like that? Am I
No,
like,
you sounded like a regular American high school
I'm
student.
just a regular American cowboy.
Now you do.
Was that the zone we were living in?
My favorite memory from filming was the day at Applebee's when everybody was all together. Seeing them all together and like seeing their chemistry together and their interactions, but then also seeing, how Bella had to kind of be in two places at once, like in Applebee's, but also in her head.
It was always, we've been saying it a lot today, but it was always really nice to be all together, all the four of us. All the scenes in the house, in that big mansion all together. Because we got to just be kids and like be impressed with the house and like be flirty with each other. And
There was like a cool part of like seeing Davis's house. I remember turning up and going, oh my God, this place is insane.
So we're almost finished with our paintings, and now we're going to reveal them to you. And I just want to say that they are all great, and there are no winners and losers.
But there will be one winner.
Here it is.
It's beautiful. That's
Oh,
so
really?
cool.
Thank you. I wanted to. My only goal was really to fill the entire canvas.
You did it. So this is mine. It's my attempt to recreate the Raymond Pettibon painting.
Quite accurate.
So good.
When Raymond Pettibon does paintings, he always puts a little like phrase at the top, and I was going to put "Hope is the thing with feathers," but then after writing "Hope," I realized that I cannot write with paint. So I abandoned that, and it just says "Hope."
Is this my turn?
It's your turn.
All right, I went real dark.
Ooh.
Oh, very Basquiat.
Well, you gotta tell us what this says,
What's past is prologue.
which is from both The Tempest and Turtles All the Way Down, more notably from The Tempest.
And I felt so that was one of the phrases that really stuck with me, especially in the way that you used it. It's just like everything that you live, everything that you go through informs who you are at this moment. And that just stuck with me. And then You Are Not Your Thoughts, which is also a big thing in the movie.
So cool.
And then a real sad guy in the middle and a lot of red.
So this is my
Oh, it's
painting.
beautiful.
This is what
So
I
nice.
did. Thanks,
I love
Dad. Oh, honey, that was great.
It does. I really like it.
I think that this is. I wasn't intending this, but I think this is. If you asked Daisy to
Oh, I see
what
that.
do you think your best friend Aza's thought spirals are? What's that? I think she would say this because I think the concept for me was the majority of a spiral might be heavy, but there's some color in there.
Yeah, there's some lightness in the inner
There's some
workings.
light in there.
That is really cool.
That's
You
so
managed
lovely,
to
Cree.
keep the pigment of the bright colors while still using the black. I love that.
Just one hot little
Okay.
winner.
Oh,
This
Bella.
one's mine.
Multiple spirals.
Multiple spirals. Only,
applause?
and I put an A for Aza, like if she made this.
But that technique, though, how did you do this?
So I use my fingers, and then I
Nice.
sometimes mix the certain colors with white so that you come out a little bit lighter of a shade than the other colors. I made them different sizes because I feel like in my head, personally, I have different voices, and then my original anxious thought turns into many anxious thoughts that
Yes.
are not from the original anxious thought. Sometimes they like become bigger than the original anxious thought.
I think that's a really beautiful expression of that.
Thank you.
Also, to me, it almost can represent different days in your life too.
Yeah.
Sometimes I'm feeling small, and sometimes I'm feeling big.
So these are our thought spiral paintings, and you will decide who the winner is.